Marquez.
Yo, it's your boy Marquez Smith, also known as Akers, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Back with another Who's Better. This time I have KLAY Thompson versus Kemba Walker on the menu. Who is better between the two? KLAY Thompson or Kemba Walker in the 2018-2019 NBA season? KLAY Thompson in 78 games, averaged 34 minutes per game, 21.5 points per game, shot 46.7 from the field, shot 40.2% from the three-point line, also 3.8 rebounds, 2.4 assists per game, 0.6 blocks, 1.1 steals per game, 81.6 from the free throw line. Kemba Walker in 82 games this year averaged 34.9 minutes per game, 25.6 points per game, 43.4 from the field, 35.6 from the three-point line, 4.4 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 0.4 blocks, 1.2 steals, 84.4% from the free throw line as well. That being said, who is better between the two? Now, we know that the All-NBA teams came out last week, and we know that it was tension when KLAY Thompson was told he was not a member of the All-NBA third team. And when they said who got it over him, they said it was Kemba Walker, and he made a face, and he was frustrated, and he was upset. He was angry. He was mad. He was a little disappointed because he feels like he's a better player than Kemba Walker. But the question is, did he have a better season than Kemba Walker in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season? Because KLAY Thompson was talking about, his team's going to the fifth straight finals, and that that plays a part of his greatness and his team's greatness. But it really doesn't when you determine individual stats and when you determine these awards. And that's why I don't really necessarily like it, because the NBA needs to do a better job of what they are going to determine who gets these awards, because you're messing with these guys' bank account. KLAY Thompson's going to lose out on $30 million just because he didn't make one of these teams. And that's a lot of money for a player to miss out because the members in the media have gotten it wrong. And especially since you look at the MVP, some years is based on individual stats. If it's based on the individual stats this season, then James Harden should be the MVP hands down. No question about it. But people are going to say, well, Giannis Antetokounmpo had great stats in his team. But the MVP is an individual award. So I don't like sometimes we're basing just off the individual awards, and sometimes we're basing off the team award, how your team did, and the individual awards. And that's so KLAY Thompson does have a point in when he's saying that the Warriors went to 5 straight finals, but we know the All-NBA team, for some reason, bases the people that they select on just the individual side of things and not the team side of things. But when you look at the MVP and you look at other awards, the members of the media do not do that. So the NBA needs to fix that, and I feel like that's very, very flawed. And like I said, you're costing guys so much money. But that being said, to go back into the original question, who had the better season in 2018-2019 NBA season? KLAY Thompson basically had the better season than Kemba Walker, even though Kemba Walker made the all-third NBA team. Now, people are going to say, well, Kemba Walker had more rebounds and assists, but KLAY Thompson shot from the floor better and shot from the three-point line better, and he is a two-way player in the NBA. Kemba Walker, as great as he is on the offensive side of the ball, he is not a two-way player. He does not play defense as well as KLAY Thompson. KLAY Thompson made his first all-defensive team this season. He was selected to the second team, and KLAY Thompson is a key member of the Golden State Warriors. He's a superstar in this league, and he really has accepted his role with the Golden State Warriors, even though he can go play for a different organization, which he may do this upcoming offseason and be a number one option. But he is selected to be in the role that he is, basically being the third option for the Golden State Warriors, some nights even the fourth option, and he still excels at what he's doing. And like I said, 46% from the field and 40% from the three-point line. That is very impressive. Kemba Walker had an amazing season with the Charlotte Hornets, and he was dropping crazy, crazy numbers. One game he even had 60 points, and Kemba Walker is very exciting to watch. Kemba Walker's going to get paid. I don't think the Charlotte Hornets are going to pay him the Supermax contract because he was selected on the All-NBA team, the third team, which now made him eligible for the super contract. I think the Hornets would be foolish to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to let Kemba Walker walk or try to make him sign a lesser deal if they want him to stay. But I don't think Kemba Walker is going to stay because his team is not good. He never makes the playoffs. So his impact is limited, even though he's putting up these impressive stats. And he's in the Eastern Conference, and he's not making the playoffs. Some people would say, well, if you swap KLAY Thompson with Kemba Walker and put KLAY Thompson on the Charlotte Hornets, would they do better or would they do worse? We don't know that question, but I'm going to say if the Charlotte Hornets had KLAY Thompson as their number one option, they would probably build a team around KLAY Thompson, and I think they would at least make the playoffs. That's not me saying that, Kemba Walker is a bad number one option, but I think Kemba Walker would be better off, I think he'd be better off in a situation kind of like what KLAY is in, KLAY being the second or third best option on the team. And I think KLAY's in a perfect world too. I don't think KLAY is necessarily a number one option, but if he had to be a number one option in Charlotte, I think that they would be in a better situation than Kemba Walker leading the front and leading the pack with the Charlotte Hornets. That's just my opinion. And you put Kemba Walker on the Golden State Warriors, their team is not the same. They're not as good as having KLAY Thompson on the Warriors if you swapped them and put Kemba Walker on the Warriors. So if Kemba Walker is less effective when he's on the Warriors and KLAY Thompson is more effective when he's on the Warriors compared to Kemba Walker, and he would probably be a better number one option on the on the Charlotte Hornets than Kemba Walker is, then it's easy for me to say that Kemba Walker is not a better player than KLAY Thompson. I would have to say that KLAY Thompson had the better 2018-2019 NBA regular season, and he's also a better player than Kemba Walker. Sometimes the stats don't tell you the full story. Sometimes Kemba Walker could have better stats than KLAY Thompson, and then people would be like, well, Kemba Walker is a better player based on his stats, but if you do the eye test, if you really know basketball, even though he didn't have better stats than KLAY Thompson, except for his scoring and a point, one extra rebound and one extra assist, you can't look at the stats all the time. You have to do the eye test. You have to know the game of basketball. You have to see what your eyes are telling you. And looking and watching the game the way I do and working for the NBA, I know for a fact that KLAY Thompson is a better player than Kemba Walker. And even though he has the stats to back it up, I'm saying even if he didn't have the stats, I would still think he's a better player than Kemba Walker. But the question was, who was better in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season? And that was still KLAY Thompson. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you rolling with KLAY Thompson or are you rolling with Kemba Walker? It's your boy, KLAY Smith, also known as A-Kiss. Join the movement. If you love these videos, please support, share, subscribe, turn your notifications on. Join the movement. Again, A-Kiss Nation. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. Support, support, support. Get my channel from being underrated to popular. This is your boy, KLAY Smith. I'm gone, man. Peace.